use of the completer. I have an initialize function on a change notifier here. None of that matters, but I call this function when the customer logs in. After they sign in with after we get the UID after they sign in, then I initialize this class. The reason I don't create the class here is because I need to be held by a provider, which is all the way here. So this is created well before this function runs here. So it's already initialized, and that means that the other function here has not run because I don't have it set up in the constructor. And I don't have that because I need this class to be available first, and then we find out what information it needs so we can initialize it later. Now, the problem is that by the time we get to this screen, by the time we get to the screen we can't ensure that the next screen doesn't load until this user document is added. So I had an issue where it crashed saying that user was called on no. So then how do I prevent user from being called on no? I'm going to await this function, turn into a future, and then not return until it's done. Well, the problem here is that there's no guarantee. I can't just hit. I can't just type in return nothing here because this will return as soon as it hits this function. So it'll start this one, and since it's async, it'll continue. Since it's async, it'll skip this line and then move to this one and then return directly just like it did. So in order for me to force this function not to return until this is done, I need to make a computer. So I'm going to do that now. Final, and I don't even need to type it, but you can put whatever type this computer is going to be completed with, whatever value you want the future to have. Since it's void, and it doesn't really matter, I can either type in void there or just leave it. Actually, they suggest not even. Okay, so now I have a future. And then what I can return, in order for this not to return until this is finished, I can return completer.future. Now this function will not. Now if I await this function, it won't be complete until this future is complete. Now how do I complete it? Like this. So modify listeners. Okay, so here we go. Now we can do completer.complete. And as you can see in the function definition, we can insert the value if there is one to put, or an error if so. Okay. Now, whenever I call this function here, I can await it. And then this one, it will not push the new screen until the account notifier has been initialized.